doesn't want to work. Maybe Instagram is working. So what's up with Facebook? Why is it not?
Don't worry about it. You'll download and I'll.
But Montrose, Virginia, Two Rivers Arts, and my husband Stuart. Oh, thank you. And my husband Stuart's going to be giving this presentation, and you'll get to see how I spin yarn. Stuart, baby.
Right, have a seat.
Uh,
Junior, hold it so that she can sit down. Okay, all right, welcome everyone. My name is Stuart Montes. I'm owner-operator of No Kidding Farm and Vineyard. We're a veteran family-owned small family farm out in Tappahannock. And there's a lot of things that we do. I just wanted to show you over here real quick some of the things that we do. So soap is one of our big things that we produce. So we cater to a lot of people with allergies. So for example, we have our olive oil soap. So it's just olive oil. Glycerin. So glycerin soap is very gentle on your skin. It's good for eczema because it's hydroscopic. It helps maintain moisture on your skin after you use it. And then we also do a goat milk and glycerin mix. Another thing that we're going to be working on soon, and some of it will be ready around August timeframe, is we're going to have a Farmer's Reserve soap. So very special, limited supply soap of sheep's milk soap. So look out for that. It's going to be in very limited quantity, so make sure to get it before it's gone, because you're going to have to wait another year to get some again. We do dish soap, so especially all of you who don't like the the non-stick pans. So we have dish soap that we produce. This little brush is perfect for your cast iron pans. It's strong enough to clean the pans, especially right after you use it, but not strong enough that it's going to get rid of your seasoning. So we have these, and we also have little extra refills for the soap. You keep the little ramekin and the brush, and then you just get some soap refills from us. Oh, and then the other soap is we also do shea butter. Sometimes we have some jojoba oil soap as well. Hand soap, so keep it in your bag, your purse, your car. So for things like if you're going to the farmer's market, they don't have soap. They just have the hand sanitizer, and especially if you're going to eat something, it just tastes horrible. So keep a little bit of hand soap handy, and then you put it down. Eggs. We're a farm. We have eggs, and we also have a lot of fresh produce. So your zucchinis, squashes, herbs, lots of herbs, especially this one. And then some lettuce and Swiss chard. So this is just an example of some of the things we do. We can our own things. So tomatoes, pickles. So your dill pickles, fresh dill pickles. And we use our own dill to do it. Try it.
I'm sold.
So we do a variety of wax melts. It's 100% beeswax with essential oil, and one little block can last at least 30 days. I've got some burning over there with some jasmine essential oil. I've had that for, I kid you not, even though we work, no kidding, but I kid you not, I've had it for going on 2 months now, and it still smells wonderful. And then we're also working on extracting our own essential oils. So Janice from Two Rivers Arts, she had a chance to smell these.
I sure did.
And this thing here is vanilla. So vanilla extract. Still needs a little bit more time to extract all the essence from the vanilla beans, but it already smells delicious and it's perfect for baking right now.
Homemade vanilla is the best.
And then, so this is just some example. This is fresh goat milk. So milked, what is it? Milked 2 days ago and today. And then sheep's milk. And you can see the little color difference too, the white and a little bit of yellow. And then sometimes with some of the sheep, you can get far more fat content on this. So if you like making your own butter, this is gonna give you a lot of the fat for the butter, a lot of the cream. You can make whipped cream out of it. You can do a lot of stuff. You can make soap, just like that. But yes, so this is just a quick little run tour. But now we'll go into what everyone is here for, and that's fiber. So fiber is one of our other main things that we do. Just 1 second. Yeah, let's turn those other ones, please. Junior, hold it. Hold the chair. Okay. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So fiber. Today is International Knitting Day, and how are you supposed to knit if you don't have fiber? Fiber is very important. It's been used for millennia. Sometimes it's just the skin, but technically there's fiber on there. But humans have been producing fiber and making clothes for centuries, for thousands of years, and we're going to show you how we do it. Basically, it's starting to become a bit of a lost art. Everything is going into machinery. A lot of things are being done in China and other places. There's a lot of use of synthetic material, a lot of plastic. You're getting all the microplastics in the water and the food. You're eating it. But this is all natural, 100% comes from our animals. Okay, so this is just something what we're going to talk about. I wish I had my projector. So we're going to talk about the different types of fiber that are available for knitting, crocheting, whatever you want to do. Talk about the fiber quality and their use. Types of protein fiber. So we're going to go a little bit in depth in some of the more popular types of protein fibers that are out there. Wool processing from sheep to yarn. So we're going to go through that. And then the natural dye process. So what we do in No Kidding Farm and Vineyard is we have our own sheep. So we have Merino, we have Baby Doll, we have Rambouillet, we have Navajo Churro, and we process our own fibers, and we make our own, spin our own yarn using the different spindles that you see here next to me. It's all 100%, and we dye only with 100% all natural dyes that you find in nature. So no synthetically made dyes. Okay, we'll go more in detail on that. So types of fiber. So there's 3 main types of fiber. So there's so that's going to be coming from animals, so growing on animals. I don't have, and we'll go through that, but I don't have, and I forgot, I lost the cotton, but oh well, I digress. So those are the 3 main ones. Like I said, we focus only on the protein ones right now, but we're working on getting into the cellulose fiber. So we're gonna try to grow our own cotton, have a batch of our own cotton that we grow, and then some flax. More time consuming to process. However, the end product is just unbelievable. Okay, fiber quality and use. So a lot Angora, your your cashmere, rambouillet. So those are going to be your fine to ultra fine fibers. And those are the ones that you want up against your skin, just because it'll start to irritate. The coarser it is, the more it irritates. Although people are different, some have more sensitive skin than others. I could probably, I've actually worn a coarse wool jacket before up against my skin. However, I survived. You're really not going to get that smell out, especially if it gets wet. You're not really going to get that smell out. If you're really going to get that smell out, it'll still smell like a wet dog when you get it wet. So. To the llamas, with other animals. But these are some of the main ones here. And then I actually have some examples. So, and you tried it, but so here is the Angora rabbit. It's very soft. This would be your, I would say, finer than your ultra fine. This is what you would consider ultra fine. Alpaca, so it still needs a lot of processing. It's not as soft as the merino, of course, but with some you can get there. And then here is our rambouillet. I sheared her just a couple days ago, actually. So this is on the skin. This one is 19.5 microns, so this is your super fine wool there. I will. No, I'm not there yet. So just talk about it first. Okay. So I said for the fiber so that you can spin it a whole lot easier. Okay, wool process from sheep to yarn. So, it, and you're gonna pick it again. Then, if it's clean enough, then you're going to card it And then after you've carded it, then you can finally here. But it's an intensive process. There's multiple steps. In a lot of times you have to go right back to the beginning and do it right over again. But it's very time consuming. We do everything by hand at our farm. We don't have any machinery. We'll look into it later on to get some machinery. Have like a small fiber mill machinery that we can use. But as of right now, our fiber mill is all hand done, and we do take in fibers from people. We cater a lot towards the folks who have a few fleeces. Because a lot of mills, you have a minimum of 18 pounds or more before they will take your fleece for processing. But we like to cater to some of the lower ones. Okay, shearing. So shearing, there's 2 ways to shear, actually 3 ways. So some animals naturally shed it, and you can pluck it off of them, and it doesn't hurt them. Wool from one of our katadins. She's a hair sheep. However, she's a woolly hair sheep, and we like to keep her fiber for stuffing or other things. So it's very perfect for that. It's also perfect for felting as well. Others use like the and it'll come off. And then others, you have to shear them, and you can try to come a little closer. That's me there just literally a couple days ago shearing our randouille. And she's just laying down. I'm not holding her down or anything.
She lets it happen.
Yeah, she's very. It makes her feel so much better once it's off, especially in this heat.
In the heat, yeah.
Yes.
Is that considered fleece before it's considered yarn?
Fleece, yes. Right off the sheet, it's fleece.
Okay.
Or while it's on there and right off of there, it's just a fleece, completely unprocessed, except sheared off.
How many times would you have to process that before you can do that? You said you have to do it again and again.
Sometimes I have to pick like 3-4 times, depending on how dirty she is.
Oh, okay.
So this one's gonna take me a while just because she got very dirty, unfortunately. She got real muddy and everything, and so.
Would you put it in like a bath first?
Yes. So I'll talk to that.
Okay,
Yes. But yes, there's a way to do that. So let's see. There's not much. Next step, skirting. So skirting, once you have the fleece off your sheep, skirting is you're gonna lay the fleece out, and then you're gonna pick out all the really nasty, dirty pieces, especially like the belly, the arm, because it's gonna be very dirty, full of heavy vegetable matter, and lots and lots of poop. Lots of poop. So you want to. There's no way you can salvage it. So you just tear it out, and you can either put it up for the birds for nesting, or you can use it. You can use it as compost. Use it like to cover the garden, like for weed control, and also helpful for weed control because it's just so thick. It's going to cover the sunlight for those weeds. So you use that. You do that. The other thing you do too with the skirting is if there's very heavy vegetable matter around or it's too matted, you pluck that out. And especially if you're going to be sending your fibers off to the mill, the mills charge you by the weight to process of what they receive from you. So if you don't clean it before it gets to them, all of that fiber they're going to have to toss away is going to cost you. So you want to give them cleaner fiber for them to process. Next is picking. So picking, you can do it by hand. You separate the fibers to get, sometimes you'll get, depending on the vegetation around, they'll get burls, basically little spiky balls that get stuck in the wool. Pull those out. Also, you take out a lot of the vegetable matter. You pick it with your hand. You can shake it. You can do it on a screen too. It helps a lot of the dirt and other things to fall out underneath. So you start it out always by hand. Get as much as you can out. There's another method of picking is using an apparatus, and I'll go a little bit more. Using an apparatus to clean it. And I'll discuss this a little bit more later. And then once you've got it relatively cleanish, then you want to wash it. So especially when it comes to the sheep wool, all basically your hair sheet produce lanolin, and all of this nasty dirt and grime, it's not stuck to the hair. Believe it or not, it's not stuck to the hair. It's stuck to the lanolin. It's the oils that the sheep naturally produce. That's lanolin. Lanolin or lamb, essentially. That's kind of where it comes from. And then wash it. So what you do, the easiest thing to do is, especially how we do it, is we get a 5-gallon bucket. We put it in there first with some warm water, and then we use some Dawn dish soap. Not the antibacterial one. Just it's actually a degreaser. It's not soap. It's a degreaser. That's why they always advertise that it's used on wildlife for the oil spills, because it's a degreaser. And it's perfect for the animals too, because it's a lot of the soaps out there, it's generally very gentle on them, and it's very good at getting grease out, which is why it's also very good at cleaning your pots and pans. I'm not trying to sell Dawn dish soap, but it is good for washing. So wash it, you sink it in, push it in a few times. You don't want to mix it, because then that's how you're going to start felting it. So you push it in, make sure it gets all wet, and you leave it there for a few minutes, and then you dump it out. Then you're going to rinse it, and then dump it out, and you might have to wash it again with some more Dawn dish soap. So it's a process. You have to repeat it several times, a lot of times, but it'll get it nice and clean. Like when you dump that water out, it's going to be nasty, but your fiber is going to start coming out cleaner every single time. And then, okay, now wash. Now we're going to go into the picking. So once it's washed, you want to dry it. One of the easiest things to do is you get a mesh bag that zips, put it in there, throw it into your washer machine, and only on the spin cycle. No rinse and spin, just pure spin. And it's just going to spin, and it's going to, the centrifugal force is going to pull out all that water, and it makes it a whole lot easier to dry. You lay it on a mesh or screen, and you just let it dry. You get some air to ventilate through there, and it'll dry in a couple days. Once it's fully dried, then you can pick it again. So our picker that we have here, it looks a little spooky. There's different kinds. There's this one that we have, and then this medieval contraption looking like one. That's a different one. It's a pendulum. So you just push it, and it'll swing, and done. So it has, and I forgot to clean it out. So this is the baby alpaca that I was working on here. So it has spikes. They're actually nails. So they're oriented in a way where it's going to be breaking. It's going eventually they're going to come out of this end as you're processing it, and it's going to be cleaning it. And then there's a little hole in the bottom where a lot of the dirt and everything fall out. And during the entire process that you're doing for processing, it's getting a little bit out in a minute. You're still getting some dirt and other things out. But for this, you just do that. And it, like I said, it's going to fluff it, separate the fibers, and which is going to allow a lot of the dirt and vegetable matter to fall out. And then once I've passed it through, then I clean it out with a vacuum and a brush, and then I do it all over again. Just because you can never get everything out 100%. You always have to do it one more step. Next is carding. So if you're not using big industrial machine at the mill, then you can card. However, the industrial ones follow the same thing. So one of the older ways to card is by hand. So you have the carder here. And then what card it aligns the fibers. So right now it's the jumbled mess of fibers. It has no direction to go, and you can't really spin it. So you want all the fibers to be oriented in the same direction so that they grab and they spin. So with the hand carder, you're just going to get a little bit. So you just start it a little bit here. It doesn't have to be beautiful. You just have to get it on there. And then with this one, you're going to brush it. Takes practice to get better at it, but the downside with this is it's a slow process. However, what's perfect for using with these is some of your more finer fibers like the Angora rabbit. Angora rabbit, you're likely going to want to use this because you will lose too much in that one. So once you card, try to take as much as you can from one to the other, and then just peel it off.
Oh, I was going to say, if you're using merino, you can just spin it right in here.
No, this is the okay. And then you do it all over again. So, yeah, you get the point. You do it all over, you put it there again, and then you realign the fibers. This here is actually a drum carder. So it has a handle here that you spin. So this drum here spins faster as so this bottom little drum is going to grab the fibers as you put it in, and it's going to pull it. Then it's going to get caught on the big one, and as the big one and the small one spin, it's going to do the same process that I did just here while it's spinning, and it's going to align the fibers. The other thing that you can do as well is while it's spinning, you use this little small hand carder, and then you hold it down, and it helps get rid of little lumps or other things, and then it helps push the fibers down so that you can also get a thicker a piece of carding on there. So you just do that while you're spinning it, and then you're feeding it little by little. Instead of feeding it there, you can feed it up here. However, it is much evenness across. So that's carding. And then now spinning. So as you can see, my wife here, she's spinning. So there's single spot doing the first step of turning it into actual yarn. So what you're doing is And once you get the fluff, you're gonna thin it out to however thickness you want while you're spinning it. And the hairs actually they have microscopic little barbs. And then while it's spinning, those bars are going to grab onto each other and they're going to maintain their shape as long as you spin it hard enough. It's going to maintain its shape and hold. However, spinning it once alone is not enough because it can still fall apart. Yes, it's not considered yarn yet, but it doesn't have it still doesn't have the same integrity. You can see there how it just ripped off. So that's what can happen. But what you're gonna want to do is once you have 2 spools of your single spun, then you're going to put them together and then you're going to turn them into plies. So for your single spuns, when you spin it, you want to spin all your singles in one direction. So spin it to the right.
Or to the left.
Or to the left, however. But for example, you spin it to the right, all your single spuns. And then when you're going to ply, you're going to ply to the left. So what happens is when you do that, the twists that you have, the counter twists, are going to really help maintain that shape, that integrity for the yarn. And once you've had it plied, then that's when you first have yarn itself. Yeah. So that's when you officially have yarn. Anything before that is not technically yarn. And then you're going to have the integrity, the strength to be able to spin it into anything that you want. So yeah, just a little video just showing, and you attach both of your single spuns to what we like to use an acrylic leader, just so that we don't waste any valuable wool, and it also lasts longer. We attach it to the acrylic leader and then we spin it. And as you saw earlier, the yarn breaks. So when you're spinning it, it breaks. But it's not a big deal. As long as you can find the ends, like how she did, you can start spinning right up again. And it's a perfect way, especially if you're spinning just for yourself. You can make, like today, it's broke, no big deal.
Yeah, you can always reattach it.
But if you're spinning just for yourself, you can make yourself a skein that is over 500, maybe 700 yards, and that way you don't have to keep tying the yarn together when you're making, say, like a shawl or scarf or sweater. But yeah, so as long as you find the end, which can be a little tricky actually. And you're able to do that. Now, when you want to start spinning, not every fiber worked. So I talked about like the dog and everything. You needed a certain staple length or anything and things like that. However, not every length. So, for example, this here is from our hair sheet. So this is from our Mr. Darcy, Rand Darcy. So this is very coarse, and it breaks easily. So I can't pick it. If I want to use it, I can only clean it by hand and use it for stuffing. This one's not even good for felting, but it'll be good for stuffing. So if you want to make little gumi dolls or other things where you need to stuff, instead of using your polyester fill, you can use actual fiber. Nothing needs to go to waste. Same with our ewe lamb. Well, she's not technically a lamb anymore, but she's our lamb. you can use it for stuffing, or hers actually is good for felting. So you can use that for felting. The biggest thing with hers is it will break. You saw it will break. So definitely not good for spinning. You want something that is stronger with that. So you're definitely going to get it with your merino, your this takes more to break this than it did the other one. So just so you know, if when you're out hunt, if you want to try spinning or some kind of craft, not every wool is the same. Make sure you research the quality and the use of the wool that you're about to buy before you buy it. And make sure you read the descriptions too, because even on Etsy, some of the descriptions can be very deceiving. If you're searching for merino, it might pop up as merino, but if you look at the description, it's going to be Cordell, which is not as fine. Still good for spinning, but definitely not as fine as merino. So always watch out for that. There's always someone trying to sneak and get you not good fiber and make you pay a lot. So dyeing, not dyeing like that, but dyeing using dye, D-Y-E. So what we do, like I said, like I mentioned, No Kidding Farmer video, we pride ourselves in using only natural dyes. So we use things like indigo. So here is indigo extract here. Wild madder root extract. So we're actually in the process of growing our own as well. Dandelions, and I'll go through more. So there's a lot that you can do. So so when you're processing, so these are the steps for dyeing. So first once you have your skein, I'll just use this for example. Once you have your skein, you're going to have it tied all around so that it keeps its shape, its round shape. It doesn't get tangled, because you're going to move it around a little bit too. So I didn't bring the umbrella, but basically there's the umbrella swift you're going to use to create the skein, and then you tie it before you get it out, of course. And then you're going to, when it's loose, not twisted up like that, while it's still loose but tied, you're going to scour. Then you're going to mordant it. We'll go through more of the steps later. You're going to dye it. So there's different ways to dye it. Then you're going to wash it. Depending on which dye you use, you're going to have to do pH regulation, so that it basically your skeins will be too alkali or too acidic, so you need to try to neutralize it. And then of course you're going to dry it, and the same process goes. You put it in a mesh bag, spin cycle only of your washing machine. You hang it up to dry, and as long as you have some ventilation going. As long as you have some ventilation going. You just get some warm water and just a little bit of dish soap. Just a couple drops of dish soap. A couple drops of dish soap. And then you put it in a bowl. And then you just leave it there for at least 1 hour. More time is better, but too much time is not better. So typically like an hour or two overnight is the maximum, really, because then you're just wasting your time. Once you have that, you leave it wet. You don't dry it, you don't do anything to get it. It helps with the process later on. So you wring it out, and then you're going to mordant it. So what's mordant? Mordant is something that you use to allow the dye to adhere to the fiber better. So there's a lot of dyes out there that you can use that don't require mordant. because they have a lot of tannins. So like your black walnut, technically you don't need tannins. I mean, you don't need mordant to dye your fiber using black walnut. And these are one of our black walnut dye fibers. But you're not going to get the richness. If you want something like this or darker, you're not going to get it without the mordant. It's going to be lighter. So that's what the mordant does. It helps it adhere so that you get richer, bolder colors instead of just like bland, kind of pastelish colors, kind of grayish. There's two types of mordants. There's your hot mordant, which works with So before you even scour two, you want to weigh it so that you know exactly how much mordant and how much dye you're going to need, because that'll help you get that you want. Then there's a cold mordant, which is relatively new. It's aluminum triformate. Yes, it's not technically very natural. However, it is necessary to get some of these colors, unfortunately. And then just a little bit.
Easily find from the cooking section. This one we got at Walmart. We have measured out however much we need.
And that's our little scale. We're weighing it up.
With the yarns, the undyed yarn.
Dyeing. So there's a lot of dyes out there. So there's a lot of them that you can find in your yard right now. Others that are grown in other regions of the world, so you have to source. But there's a lot of them. So these are some of the main ones that we use. So like I said, our indigo, a black walnut. I showed you the yarn we did with black walnut. Rosemary, believe it or not, you can use rosemary. It gives you a nice kind of greenish. Yeah. So indigo, avocado. So avocado, you can use the avocado pits and skins. Then there's red matter. This gives you the, especially now at America 250. This is what they use to dye, and they still do to dye their uniforms. They use the madder root. So this is actually what they use to get that rich red, like blood red color in their uniforms. And then dandelions. Dandelions is another thing you can do, and it gives you what, yellow, right? Yeah, so it gives you a nice yellow color as well. And I know everyone has dandelions, so you can't say that you don't have dye available. And there's many more. There's countless ones. There's jasmine, and then there's what is it? Sephora japonica flavin, they call it.
Oh yes, that
Yes.
one creates a lot of different colors.
Yes, you can
based on
get
how
greens,
you-
yellows, yes.
grays
And then
blacks.
semi lag. So there's all kinds out there. Okay. And then so sometimes you can use the dye just with water, and you mix your specific amount of dye in there. Other times you need to go through a process. So for example, indigo, you have to go through a vat process. So you're basically mixing this with some iron and some some lime so that I can get the nice rich indigo color.
The famous denim.
Yes, your denim color. And there's different shades that you can do. So the thing with indigo is it just adheres to the outside. It doesn't penetrate the fiber. It adheres to the outside. So the more you dip it in the vat, the darker the color you're going to get.
So what's the back?
The vat is just basically your cocktail of different things that you mix so that you can get the dye to do with the to regulate the pH with a little bit of vinegar, and then from there you wash it. So I'll go through some of that. But yeah, so that's, I know it's hard to see, but that's me processing this indigo fiber right here. And then if you're going to be doing it at home, always wear long gloves. Otherwise, you're going to look like a Smurf for months. If that's what you want to do for Halloween, fine. This is an all-natural way to cover your skin, turn it blue, so you can look like a Smurf. You don't have to use all those paints and acrylic paint or whatever. You can just dunk yourself in a vat of indigo that you have left over, and voila, you're a Smurf. Okay, let's get that. Okay, and then so here, this is using, I think this is the chamomile. Yeah, chamomile.
We are starting to dye.
So you can see, or you can't see, but if you were here, you'd be able to, basic natural natural yarn skeins that we have. We're putting it in we're using the hot board in this case. We're using the hot board in this case. And so we have a pot of boiling chamomile, and we're pushing these in, shoving these in, and to this. Goes from this to this, and just using chamomile. Literally, we plucked it out of our garden. We boil it for all that straight water and extracts of the tannins from it. That's where we shove these yarns to get this. Very beautiful. Sometimes, especially, oh, it still smells a little bit like it. Just bang it. Yeah, so for quite a while, for several months, it was like a aromatherapy. When my wife was knitting with this, just as soon as you open it or you start to grab it, you could smell the herbs that we use to make it.
Very wholesome.
Yep.
Very wholesome.
Very natural, and it's just so calming. Just all the smells.
Green, but I have rosemary to give me green, so I'm gonna keep this as yellow.
Yep. And this is, our black walnuts. So you can see there's a little bit of white there, and then it looks black, but it will come out when you wash it, when you're rinsing it. Sometimes when you're doing your wash process, sometimes you have to use a little bit of detergent, just a very small amount. Of your Dawn dish soap, just very small amount. Other times it's just water. It all depends on which dye you're using. When it comes to the indigo, you want to use just a tiny bit of Dawn dish soap, just like a few little drops, and help get some of that dye that is not really stuck on to the fiber off, so that it doesn't take you 5 days to rinse it out, and it won't come off on your skin or anything as much. Oh, black, yes. some people have asked about the black, and it's not easy as you think. So there are ways to get black. There's a way to use black with indigo.
Indigo red. And
Yes.
another color.
And a few other things. And there's also another way to use acorns to get black. However, it's very, very time-consuming process. It's just best to get black wool, basically from black merino sheep. They're out there. Trust me, sheep. They're out there. Trust me, consuming. Long process, a lot of material, and if you want someone to make that for you, the price is going to be up there. So you're looking at least $50 at least per skein, for black, because it is not easy. If you want synthetic, sure, it's definitely easy, but not with natural.
We're gonna have black from the merino.
Yes, and we will have black available from we getting some merino U that's going to be black in July actually. We have our merinos right now. Like I said, we have merinos, ragdollys, baby dolls. Navajo churro, those are perfect for your blankets and carpets. And we're going to have several colors of Navajo churro. So we have some white, we have a cinnamon color, and we're going to get a black and maybe a mix used next year. So yeah, it's great. And like I said, all of this is all natural. You're not going to get any microplastics from any of this. Yeah, no cancer causing anything. So it's as natural as you can be without just wearing sheep skin.
And you can purchase all of these on our website.
Yes.
At
So
No Kidding Vineyard.
yes, so nokiddingvineyard.com. So if you're interested in purchasing anything that you saw here, except the vegetables, of course, unless you're local, and the eggs. You purchase anything here that you see here. We even sell our roving as well. So if you're interested in trying to spin yourself,
Felting.
I know, was it Martlet?
Yes, one
Yes.
of my best customers and my biggest supporters on TikTok
Yes.
has recently purchased
Uh-huh.
the Rogan.
Yep.
Thank you again, my sweet friend.
And then, or you can get yarns, or you can get some final products. So some shawls, some scarves. That's some of the things that we primarily do. We don't do blankets. It just takes up so much time, so much
Except
material.
for maybe receiving.
Yes, receiving blankets is one thing, but if you're trying to get like a big, like a blanket itself, unless you're prepared to pay hundreds of dollars, it's not worth it. But yeah, like I said, all of this is available. We're working on having some felting. We're gonna get this cleaned up, and this will be available for felting from our baby lamb. And this will be available for felting from our baby lamb ordeal. So yes, Miss Orgini, Lamb Orgini.
And it'll be on TikTok as well as the website.
Yes. You can contact us anytime. So. 804-246-9524. Especially those of you that are here in Virginia, local area. So we ship nationwide. We haven't.
Worldwide.
Oh yeah, worldwide. Yeah, but we've shipped nationwide so far. But we can ship nationwide. Corridor. We can do some drop-offs to save you a little bit of money there. Or you can come pick it up at our farm down in Tappahannock, Virginia. But like I said,
I want to thank Two Rivers Arts.
yes, thank you, Janice, and Two Rivers Arts.
In Montrose, Virginia.
Yes.
Please come check us out.
Yes.
I think our yards are going to finish here.
Okay. Yes, and then art, yeah, we gotta do a shout out. So some of the painting that you see right there is Con, very famous artist,
Yes.
very renowned.
Yes.
Very beautiful, yes. Very
Bulgaria.
beautiful artwork. Well, it looks like he took the nice one. It was an old London, and it's all foggy night, I think it was.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the Inn at Montrose.
Yes,
Special show.
yes, in Montrose. Yes, but yes, he's wonderful work. A lot of multimedia, and there's a lot here.